Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to CS 2120. This is the first video of two for the second week of the course, and this is the first week where we're actually getting into some content. So this first video, we're going to cover some of the background theory. Next video, we're going to do a little bit of coding, and that's it. For this week, I just want you to make a note that there are no tutorials. Tutorials are going to be starting next week, and what you'll be doing in those tutorials is working on some problems which I'll post either right before the tutorial or maybe at the end of this week. So whatever I talk about when I talk about it with the TAs, we'll discuss that, and you'll see. I'll let you know in an announcement. So keep an eye out for that. In terms of this video, I'm going to have the site on the right hand side of the screen and my IDE on the left, and this is PyCharm. If you don't have this and you want it, and if you don't have Python and you want that, then check out this section of the site, getting set up. If you're all set up, then feel free to follow along with this video. So we'll start with the theory. What is a program? So a computer program is a sequence of instructions. So on the first line I might write print a value. The second line might be add two numbers. The third line might be something else and something else. So the computer is going to, in sequence, run from line 1 to 4 and execute all of the instructions. And that's what a program does, whether it's print hello world or a neural network. Debugging, you might have heard of that before. What it is it's just fixing whatever errors you have. So what kind of errors could you have? You could have a syntax error. So if you just type hello and you really want to print hello, that's a syntax error. So before you even run the program, you have an error. And it has to do with the grammar of what you're writing. So the grammar for Python, if you want to print hello, is this. You type print, open bracket, quotation mark, hello, quotation mark, end bracket. So anything other than this will be a syntax error. This is a syntax error. What's a runtime error? A runtime error is something that is an error that is happening at runtime or when you run the program. So if you click run, this is a runtime error, division by 0. Semantic error is not what you would recognize as an error necessarily. At least there's no error in the output. So a semantic error is when you run your program, it runs fine, there's no syntax errors, but the program doesn't do what it's intended to do. So maybe it's a calculator program and it spits out the wrong answer. So that's a semantic error. More background, let's talk a bit about the difference between natural and formal languages. Natural language has ambiguity. So English has lots of room for ambiguity. This is an English statement, but it's a logical contradiction. And that's a problem for formal languages. So formal languages are well-defined, very specific. So a formal language is Python. Python is a formal language. There are specific instructions you have to write for it to be able to understand what you're saying and to give you the correct output. Ambiguity is a problem for formal languages. So yeah, there's definitely a distinction there. And I just want you to sort of take note of that when you're programming in Python, you need to write things in a certain way in order to get the output that you want. So an example of that is, instead of, if you want hello to print to the screen, you can't just type hello. You have to write things in a certain way to get the output that you want. So that's it for this first part. In the next part, we're actually going to get into some code, and we'll go through the rest of this page.